Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. I welcome you all to our online learning initiative Ekalaiva. Today in this video we are going to start with the structure of human respiratory system. Okay, so already we have seen about what is the process of respiration and what is the importance of this process in human beings. Okay, and you know that we people, we have all the human beings, we have a complex organ system for doing all our life processes. Okay, so here the life process what we are learning is respiration. For doing this respiration we have a special organ system called respiratory system. Okay, and today in this video we are going to see about the organs which are making this organ system, that is our respiratory system. Okay, so our respiratory system, it is made up of all these organs. Okay, these are the organs which are making our human respiratory system. Okay, that is external nas, nasal cavity, internal nas, pharynx, larynx, trachea and lungs. Okay, these are the organs. Okay, it starts here from our nose, okay, and it is going into our body. Okay, and in thoracic cavity we have our lungs. Okay, in between this nose and lungs we have all these organs. Okay, so in this video we are going to learn about all these organs. Okay, so this is actually the organs present in our respiratory system. Okay, first one, external nas. Okay, external nas, okay, commonly we used to call it as nostrils. Okay, nostrils, we all have two holes in our nose. Okay, and those holes are called nostrils. Okay, the holes present in our nose, these both holes we used to call it as our nostril, okay, which we are calling it as the external nas. Okay, so the external opening consists of pair of holes and air enters into this nasal cavity through this nostril. What is the use of this nostril? It is acting as a gateway for inhalation. Okay, so through that holes only we are taking air from our atmosphere. Okay, we inhale air from our atmosphere. So this is the importance of this external nas, that is our nostrils. Then the next one, nasal cavity. Okay, so this nasal cavity, when you see it is this nasal cavity, this place. Okay, actually this place inside our nose, okay, it is actually divided into two chambers with the help of this middle bone. Okay, when you touch your nose here you can feel one bone here. Okay, which, okay, this one we will call it as a median partition, which is called as nasal septum. Okay, so it is divided into two chambers by the median partition called nasal septum. It is dividing it into two chambers. Okay, our nose into two chambers. Okay, and this nasal cavity, okay, the space present here, it is divided into three regions. Okay, what are those three regions? When you see vestibular region, okay, the first one is called vestibular region, then respiratory region and olfactory region. Okay, vestibular region, respiratory region and olfactory region. Okay, so this vestibular region, okay, vestibular region, it has some hairs. Okay, you can notice a minute hairs inside your nose. Okay, that place, okay, where it is having that hairs, we used to call it as vestibular region. And this vestibular region, even it is having some oil glands. Okay, and what is the use of this hairs present here in this vestibular region? When you see, actually it is filtering the air what we inhale. Okay, if any dust is there in inhaled air, okay, this hairs will trap the dust. Okay, now the next one is respiratory region. So a respiratory region, when you see your nostrils, okay, that nasal passage close in the mirror, you can see some pinkish part here. Okay, pink color part here, that is we are calling it as respiratory region. Why it is so pink when you see? Because it is enriched with blood supply. Okay, and this nasal cavity, it is acting as a air conditioning unit. Okay, So that is the air what we inhale, sometimes it will be very cool, okay. So when as we inhale that air, as this air is passing through this respiratory region, okay, through this respiratory region, what happens now, as it is enriched with blood supply, blood capillaries, it is, okay, conditioning the air, okay, it is changing the temperature of that cool air very close to our body temperature. So it is acting as an air conditioning unit, that is our respiratory region, okay. It is also encounters, if any microbes are there, okay, there will be some mucus secretion, it will trap those microbes, okay. Then olfactory region, okay, the innermost part of this nasal cavity, we will call it as olfactory region, which will be looking in yellow color. And this olfactory region, it will be having a olfactory receptors, okay. What is the purpose of olfactory receptors? Receptors are there in our sense organ to receive the stimuli, that is change in the environment. Here the stimuli is smell, okay, different kinds of smell. So when you inhale the air, okay, this olfactory receptors, okay, if it finds any smell, it is taking that smell to our brain, so that brain interprets that particular smell, okay. So that is the importance of our olfactory region. So this is about the parts in our nasal cavity. Then the next part in our respiratory system is internal nas, which we used to call it as choane, okay. So internal nas is a posterior ending, see this is external nas, this opening, okay, that is our nostril, okay. So this internal nas, that is choane, it is a posterior nasal opening, oh, see here, posterior nasal opening, which leads to the next tubular structure, that is called pharynx, okay. So that is actually the internal nas or choane, and through this nasal cavity it opens into nasopharynx. Again the pharynx is going to have three parts, we will see about that. So it opens into that nasopharynx. So this is our internal nas. Then the next one is our pharynx, okay. You all know that this pharynx is a vertical tube, okay. This pharynx is a short vertical tube, and what is the importance of this pharynx? When you see, it is a common passage for both our food and air, okay. The food what you are eating, it is passing through this pharynx only, and as well as the air what we inhale also, it is passing through this pharynx. So it is a common passage for our food and air, okay. And it consists of three parts, it is nasopharynx, oropharynx and laryngopharynx, okay. So this is the nasal cavity leads to this nasopharynx, that is a part of the pharynx where nasal cavity opens into that, we used to call it as nasopharynx. The middle portion, that is where this pharynx, okay, that is the oral cavity opens into this pharynx, okay. Oral cavity, where our oral cavity opens into this pharynx, we used to call it as oropharynx. And the last portion of the pharynx which opens into larynx, next to pharynx we have larynx, which opens into larynx, we used to call that part as our laryngopharynx, okay. So based on these openings only, it is pharynx is divided into nasopharynx, oropharynx and laryngopharynx. So this is actually our oropharynx, okay. So oropharynx, okay, it is lie behind the oral cavity. Lingual tonsils will be there in that oral cavity. It is made up of a special type of epithelium called stratified squamous epithelium, okay. The next one is our what is that, nasopharynx. Nasopharynx located posterior to the nasal cavity, because of that only we are calling it as nasopharynx, and this is made up of a special type of epithelium called pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium, okay. It is having, okay, even in this place there will be a tonsils, pharyngeal tonsils, which we are calling it as adenoids, okay. And this is the place, okay, where eustachian tube opens, okay. What is that eustachian tube? That is, we are calling it as an auditory tube, which is present in the middle ear, okay. So you can see in this picture, In this picture you can see this is actually the middle ear, and the middle ear will be having some tubular structure. This tubular structure, okay, it opens into throat, you have learnt, okay, it is actually exactly opens into our nasopharynx. Okay, so this is about the importance of our nasopharynx. Then the next one is our laryngopharynx. Okay, so this laryngopharynx lies between the base of the tongue and entrance to the esophagus, and it opens into larynx, the next tube in our respiratory system. Because of that only we are calling it as our laryngopharynx. See, epiglottis. This epiglottis is the opening of our larynx. Okay. Then it is also made up of a stratified squamous epithelium. So this is about the three parts of our larynx. Then the next one we are going to see about larynx. Pharynx we completed. Then the next one is we are going to see about larynx. Okay, so this larynx, it is the upper part of our trachea. Okay, as you all know, that is the upper part of our trachea, and here it opens into the laryngopharynx, a slit like aperture. Okay, there will be a slit like opening in between this larynx and the laryngopharynx. We will call it as glottis. Okay, and this glottis, okay, it will be having a flap like structure. Okay, it bears a leaf like, okay, a cartilaginous structure at the starting point of this what is that, glottis, and that structure we will call it as epiglottis. Okay, and this epiglottis, actually what is the importance of the presence of this epiglottis when you see? Okay, this epiglottis, when you swallow something, okay, if you keep your hand here and feel, this tube will just, okay, it is moving upward. Okay, so what happens now, this epiglottis, for example, if this is our okay, this is our larynx. Okay, and this continues into our trachea. This will be continuing into our trachea, and this is actually our larynx. Okay, in this place, okay, there will be a flap like structure which we are calling it as epiglottis, and this opening we will call it as glottis. Okay, so at the time of swallowing, okay, now you are eating food. As I told you already, pharynx is a common passage for both food and air. Okay, when you swallow your food, what happens now? This tube is moving upward so that this epiglottis will close our larynx. So whatever you are swallowing will be going into your food pipe, which is present behind our trachea, instead of entering our larynx. Okay, so that is the importance of this epiglottis present in the tip of our glottis. Is that clear, children? So okay, it is this larynx, when you see, okay, it is very as the human beings, that is human male attaining their puberty, okay, it becomes very prominent, okay, in this part. Okay, so that structure, that larynx, well developed larynx in human male, okay, we used to call it as Adam's apple. Okay, that is nothing but the well developed larynx in human male. So this is about the structure of our larynx. See, this larynx, okay, we used to call it as our voice box. Okay, why we are calling it as our voice box? When you see, it consists of some membranous structures like this. Okay, it is having some membranous structures, and that membranous structures we will call it as vocal cords. Okay, we will call it as vocal cord. Okay, the outer part, okay, the outer part is called as false vocal cord, and the innermost part is called as this region. This is true vocal cord, and this things we used to call it as false vocal cord. Okay, so this, there is a two pairs of foldings of mucous membrane. That mucous membrane we are calling it as our vocal cords. Okay, and upper pair is false vocal cord, that is exactly this portion, and the lower pair is called as true vocal cord. Okay, So the gap between the vocal cord, okay, that communicate with the laryngopharynx, we used to call it as this gap, we used to call it as rhemoglottis. So actually how this vocal cord is producing sound when you see, okay, when the air is forced through this larynx, okay, that air set these mucous membrane into a vibration. So the vibration in this vocal cords you can feel when you are speaking. If you keep your fingers here, you can feel the vibration of our vocal cord. Actually that vibration of our vocal cord is producing sound, and with the help of our tongue, okay, we are making different sounds, okay, we are giving okay, a structure to that sound, okay, so that we are making our words. Yes, children. So this is actually the importance of our larynx, okay, it is a part of our respiratory system, as well as, okay, it is acting as this voice box. Is that clear, children? Then next part, okay, we used to call it as trachea, a tubular structure, okay. So that tubular structure which is located in our chest cavity, okay, it is located in our chest cavity. This part of our body we will call it as thoracic cavity also, thoracic cavity, okay. And commonly this trachea, it is called as windpipe, okay. We are calling our esophagus as food pipe, as it is carrying food from mouth into our stomach, okay. And this trachea we can call it as windpipe, as it is carrying wind into the lungs, okay. So this hollow tube composed of a semicircular rings, okay. Actually the trachea, when you are drawing trachea, normally how you will draw a tube and you will draw some structure here like this, okay. And these structures, how you will call them, okay, we used to call it as ring of cartilage, okay. Some cartilaginous structure, semicircular rings, okay, it is behind this trachea that is incomplete, okay, to some extent. So that we are calling it as a semicircular rings, okay. So these semicircular rings, okay, they are made up of cartilage, so we used to call them as a ring of cartilage. What is the importance of this ring of cartilage? Already in 10th standard you have learnt about this. What is the importance of ring of cartilage? Okay, a trachea, actually it is a air tube like a balloon, okay, very delicate tubular structure. So in the absence of air, this air tube will collapse if there is the absence of this cartilage. So this cartilage is giving support to our trachea, and it is avoiding that collapsing of that air tube in the absence of air, okay. That is the importance of this ring of cartilage, okay. So this ring of cartilage protects the trachea from the collapse and injury, okay. And this one, it connects the pharynx to the bronchi. It is acting as a link between our pharynx and the other parts, larynx. Then it is connecting all those tubes with our bronchi, okay. Then it contains a specialized cells that secrete mucus. So there will be a mucus secretion in our trachea. So suppose if inhaled air is having any microbes that mucus will trap those microbes. So this is about the importance of our trachea, and this trachea nearly it is 12 centimeter in length and 2.5 centimeter in its breadth, okay, a well developed trachea. So this is about the tubular structures present in our respiratory system. Next, this tube, okay, it is going to divide. See here trachea. So trachea, on entering our thoracic cavity, it is getting divided into two branches, okay. On entering our thoracic cavity, it is divided into two branches, which we are calling them as a bronchi, that is primary bronchi, okay. And this primary bronchi, actually it is gaining entry into our lungs. On entering our lungs, it will be having its further divisions. Okay, when we are seeing about the structure of lungs, we'll see about the branches of bronchi also. So this is about the organs present in our respiratory system, starting from the nostrils to this trachea. Thank you, children.